guys? Today I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about how I do my stencils. It's been like the $1,000,000 question throughout my videos, and I'm going to go a little bit more in depth in it here today, and I'm going to allow you guys to try it out on your own. Just note that stencils, it takes a lot of time, a lot of failure, and a lot of practice. So don't get discouraged. That's the main thing that I can tell you guys. Today it's actually a pretty simple one, and I already have it all drawn out for you, so all you have to do is cut. This is just an intro video. It's not really an in-depth look at how I do it. It's more just kind of touching on it, and I'll get more in-depth with it as time goes on and as you guys progress with me through this video series. So let's get started. What you're gonna wanna do is go to your local store, art store, and get a piece of poster board. Doesn't really matter. I have like a certain kind that I like. It's not really too thick and it's not too thin, and it doesn't allow the paint to bleed through your paint after you paint it, because you don't want to go too thin because the paint will bleed through and your stencil won't work. But at the same time, you don't want to go too thick, because if you go too thick, it's kind of hard to cut and you can't get as accurate of lines. So you kind of want almost like a medium gauge type paper. And then you guys are going to want to get a cutting board. Mine's a little bit professional. I used to use my kitchen cutting board. That works too. But if you guys are planning on doing a lot more stenciling, a lot more cutting, and trying to master the art form, I recommend getting one of these, because this is a self-healing cutting board, and it won't dull your blades as bad as a hard kitchen cutting board, and it won't be as hard on your fingers and joints. Ow. And it lets you create more natural lines versus more geometric lines. You're also going to want to get an X-Acto knife, some scissors, a pencil, but you're not really going to need this for this, so never mind, and some Scotch tape or any other kind of tape. I just like to use like masking tape. You can click right here or click below to go to the web page where you can get all the downloads and see the supplies list that you're going to need for this video and the rest of this series. So what I went ahead and did, I took the big piece of poster board and I cut it out to a size that's a little bit bigger than the printout that you guys have available for download to cut. And it's a little bit bigger than your 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that you guys printed out, because what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to tape it down, and you need a little bit of extra room for that. And plus, it helps with overspray when you're spraying it. The next step is to just cut whatever the black is, that's what you cut out. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut out all of the black parts. Okay, so basically what you're going to want to do is, now that everything's cut out, take the template sheet off, and you're just going to have your stencil. You're going to go through and try to find if there's any left over that you haven't picked out, kind of like that. I left one there. And hopefully you can see how strong your stencil is. Like, it's not going to rip in the middle. Don't test it. But, I mean, if you hold it up and it doesn't move, that's a good thing. Because these little parts, the connecting parts right here, is what gives it strength. You don't want too many of them, because if you have too many, then it takes away like the integrity of the lines, and it'll distract from your overall piece. But at the same time, if you have too little of them, then your stencil won't work, because these things will rip and, well, it'll just be a disaster. So far this looks pretty nice. I'm happy with the turnout. So once you have your stencil all cut out, it's time to put it to the test. A couple things I forgot to add to the list of things that you need for this. Obviously spray paint and a box of rubber gloves, or just a few rubber gloves. You really don't actually need these, but I just prefer them so your hand doesn't get all spray painty. If you don't care about that, then go for it. The spray paint, it doesn't really matter what kind you get. You can go to the dollar store and get it for like $1. That works too. Also, what you're going to want to use is a piece of cardboard or a piece of paper or your books or whatever you want to spray paint. For this instance, I'm going to use this piece of cardboard. So let's get started. So when it comes to spraying, what I like to do is I get my glove all set. Make sure your paint is mixed really good, or else it comes out clumpy. And even actually test it on something else. And then what you're going to want to do with your whatever hand you don't use to spray, you're going to want to hold down your stencil so it doesn't bleed through and leak through. For example, we'll do something like this. I'm holding it down next to what I'm doing. That's what keeps everything, what keeps your lines crisp. And as you can see, since I cut and it's close to the edge, I'm gonna get some overspray from that. And that's a very exaggerated form of it, but when you take it off, you can see that the paint is spilled over. So what I like to do is I'll actually take, this is a piece of that poster board, and when I spray, instead of using my hand, I'll use this to put down the pressure and it keeps from the overspray from going off. You just gotta be careful not to move your stencil or else it's gonna, you know, get messed up. And you can take it off. It doesn't have the extra and it's a much nicer looking stencil for you. And you can play around with the designs. If you have the type of stencil that you can use as like repetitive, you could do like 6 in a row or whatever you would really like to do, and anything kind of looks cool because it's a stencil. And you can put it anywhere. That's the cool part. It looks really good on wood. I don't know why I said that, but I just think it does look good on wood. So I hope you guys have found this tutorial as helpful. Like I said, you just get better with practice, and the more you practice, well, the better you'll get. Remember, this is just an intro. This is just basic on how I do it. So do you guys see where this kind of like requires a lot of thinking? Not just in drawing it and figuring out what lines you want to use, but how to cut it out and what pieces are going to connect and if it's going to be strong enough to withstand picking it up and moving it around and stuff like that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe because we make a lot of art here, and well, not just that, we just do a lot of things on this channel. And also, check out my website. You can get all the downloads for this video there, and it will help you better understand what this video is about. Hopefully this has inspired you to create your own type of stencil. Just keep it simple is the main thing. This was just a simple line stencil, no shadows involved, and you can put this anywhere. Put it on your cat, your dog, school books, your car. Just kidding, I wouldn't do most of those things, but those are some ideas. But if you thought this video was helpful, tell a friend. Let them see how to start doing some like graffiti type stuff. If you haven't already, check out the videos in the last series where we talk about tagging, because these two types of things can kind of go hand in hand. Maybe you can tag underneath of your stencil that you just made. Who knows? The opportunities are endless. Really enjoy having you guys here. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.